Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and before we get started, if you want to know exactly how to win again and again, go to weidelonwinning.com/webinar now to watch something I've put together for you. Now let's get going into this episode of Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm talking with Patti Schechter, and Patti is right now, she's in Singer Island, Ritz-Carlton, looking out at the intercoastal, I was going to say highway, the intercoastal waterway out the back, the Lake Worth, and the other side is the Atlantic Ocean. Beautiful views right on the Atlantic. And what what Patti's sharing with us is lessons from a life in financial services, building a coast-to-coast organization, $13 million earners, and she's done it for a long time. She's the number one earning lady in the entire 130,000 plus coast-to-coast, Puerto Rico, Canada, financial services company. And so a lot of insights. And Patti, you've been so nice to take time. I wonder if we can take a few more minutes. And what I'd like to do is get operating principles you've gone by and how you sort through things and you look at life and you sort it out. Like you said in the beginning, I'm a simple person. And how do you, if you had to put down your top 3, top 5 type concepts or ideas that you come back to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, dealing with yourself, dealing with people, dealing with life, things you've passed on to your daughter, what are things you find yourself saying over and over again that's part of the success pattern and success vocabulary that you've used to navigate life successfully?
Well, one of the things that I always have said to myself growing up when I was a young girl and everything, I would see people who I would try and follow the people who were doing or had the things that I wanted. And I guess my parents just raised me to be a pretty confident person, and not in a braggadocious way, but I always thought to myself, well, if they could do it, I could do it. What is
right.
it have that I don't have? If they're working hard and they have a system, then if I find that system and work hard, then I could do it too, And that's
right.
what I tell people now is, if you find a system that you think works and you find a person who's working the system, then just follow the leader. Like, how hard can that? Do what they do, And I've always told my daughter that too, well, you want to be like XYZ. What did XYZ do to get there? Then just, follow that pattern. So that's one of the things. And I tell myself that daily because people say they reinvent themselves. I don't feel like I'm reinventing myself daily, but I feel like I'm trying to better myself daily and just be the best me I can become daily. And when I see some place that I feel like I'm, not maybe up to snuff in, or I want to get better in, I just think, okay, well, who's doing that, and what did they do to get there, and how can I just follow that person and get there? So that's one thing that I always tell myself is, you can do. Like, I'm really pretty positive about that. I really do believe I can do almost anything except math. I cannot do math.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's one thing, and just I guess just knowing that you got to put in the sweat equity, that's another thing. I don't think people realize when we say that. You look at anybody who's successful, it sounds like you would think it would be obvious, but I don't think people realize that it doesn't just happen. There's no such thing as an overnight sensation. Overnight people, you find out who they are, and then you find out that they've been killing themselves to get there for 10, 15 years, You have to say to yourself, I have to put in the sweat equity. And I also tell myself that daily. This is not a free ride, and nobody's going to do it for you. And I tell my daughter that, you have to do the work. You have to put in the legitimacy. You have to put in the work, that other people will look at you and say, okay, well, they did the work. It didn't just happen for them. Nobody handed it to them. You didn't get it because you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Our kids are actually at a disadvantage in some ways, because they are privileged and they have more than other people, let's say, or more than I certainly did when I was growing up. But that also delegitimizes them in a way, because people look at them and they think, well, they got there because their mother had money, you know? So
Right.
I tell my daughter, people have to respect you for what you've done, not for just because of who you are and who your lineage is, or who your parents are. And Savannah will say to people, they say, oh, you were born in Mendham, or you went to private school, and she'll say, yeah, well, my mom and dad have money. I know, I'm working my way through. I'm doing what I have to do. I'm putting in my hours. I'm standing here, working every night. So that's another thing. You got to know that you got to put in the work. Just being true to yourself. I think also, I think people lie to themselves a lot, and I try not to do that. Of course, I like to see myself in my best light. But when you need a talk to yourself, I think it's important to do that too, and say, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or maybe that wasn't a good thing, and correct it. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. The thing is realizing it, and then what are you going to do about it? Turning it around, trying to get better at something.
And part of that is accepting responsibility, when
Absolutely.
you screw up, and I've always had the thing where, like, if I say I was going to pay for something, even if I got tricked into it, it was not the thing or whatever, I'm going to pay for the darn thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to have that hanging over my head that I use some kind of thing to get, no. It maybe wasn't what I thought I was getting into, but if I make a deal with you, it's easier just to keep the deal than to weasel out of it.
That is one of my big things that really tick me off in life, is when people promise something, or they tell you they're going to do something and they don't. That
Yeah.
really is one of my big pet peeves, more than a pet peeve. It really ticks me off. I try and be a woman of integrity. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Unless
Right.
I'm pushing up daisies. I'm really going to try. And you have to be that person. You have to, you can't
Well,
promise.
no, you don't, but you don't have to be successful either, Patty. The thing is, what I found about if it dawned on me here several years ago, is like, the thing about super successful people is, like, if they say they're going to call you, they call you. It comes down to simple things. If they're going to pretty much be on time. If they commit to something, you don't have to worry about it. And on the other hand, you and I go through our lives where people are dropping the ball left and right around us, but the people who don't drop the ball seem to move up in life. I wonder why that is.
I wonder why that, there's also some people who seem to be having success, and they drop the ball. But you know what, Larry? 100 times out of 100 times, it catches up to them and bites them in the butt. It may look like they're getting away with it. It may like, wow, he said he was going to be here, and wow, he's a big earner, and he's like a well-liked person. I'm surprised but sooner or later, it'll catch up to them, and the truth will come out about that person. I'm 100% of the time.
And rarely, we all forget things. We're all capable of forgetting an appointment or this or that and the other, but it's very, very rare. It seems like the more money they make, the less likely it is they'll forget anything.
Yeah, isn't that a coincidence?
Because the thing is, the people that are getting things done have a lot of things to do. And so they can't be screwing around having to reschedule. They have 5 meetings in a day. They can't be rescheduled. They don't have time to reschedule 3 of them for tomorrow, because tomorrow's already booked too, And so just the simple things. Now, the things that you told, you see this playing out in your daughter's life in the real world of Vegas, where they could care less about anybody, whoever you are. It's going to dog eat dog out there.
That is true.
And
That is true.
and seeing her stand on her own 2 feet out there, What kind of, is there any other additional kind of lessons that you see her or you hear her saying that you're proud of because you know that, she heard that from you?
Well, I am really proud of the way she is with other people. Um, I am amazed at her actually. She is so humble. And it would be easy to feel your oats when you look like her,
Right.
sing like her, and you got the
Sure.
job she has, and you're at the top of the. My mother always taught me, and I always said the same words to her: stay on your knees because God could put you there in a New York heartbeat.
Right.
And she has. She's very very thankful and humble about where she's at. But I've seen her also handle other people who maybe are not so much so, or maybe are at times rude. And she's in a people business place. She's in a place where Las Vegas, as you said, dog eat dog, and there's a lot of backstabbing and to get to claw your way to the top. And I think the fact that she's gotten to the top with it less than 3 years of being out there is testament not only to her talent, but to her her inner being and who she is as a person, and the fact that people have been able to see that about her.
Yeah.
I believe that you could be great, the most skilled human being in the world at your particular given thing that you're doing, but if you're a bastard or if you're a biatch and nobody likes you, you know what? It doesn't matter. It really
Right.
doesn't matter. Success is not just about that. Success is about who you are as a person, who you are inside. Yeah, I want her to be talented and skilled and be at the top of her game. And I'm glad she has this great voice, and I'm glad but at the end of the day, I love who she is. I love who she is as a person. I love how I've seen her handle people that, frankly, being from Patterson, I might have not handled them the same
Yeah.
way. All of them go,
Yeah.
She's got that self-control and that skill, and that is a skill, and it's a success skill, and I'm proud of her for that. I really
Well,
am.
I'm proud of you, bringing that into the conversation, and it allows people to hear, they would default into thinking that people who have money and success and, have things, are preoccupied with the things, but things are fun for a while, and it's fun to get new things, enjoy or whatever, but that's not life. And if
No,
you think it's
things.
like,
So things are fun, right? So
Yeah.
we have this yacht. Like, oh my God! Remember, everybody who's listening, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey. My father was a welder, so even that sentence, "I have a yacht," makes me laugh. Right?
Right.
It's crazy. But I have a yacht. Okay, so that's great. That's a success. I'm at the top of my game. And how much fun would it be sitting on my yacht by myself, looking at my husband across the table? What's the best part of having that yacht? Every freaking week, we got tons of friends coming on. Share it with us. I want to share it with us for 2 reasons. I want to share it with you because I love you and you're my friend and we have a great time together. But I want to share it with you because I want you to see what it's like, and I want to motivate you to go get one for yourself, and so that you can do that for your friends and your family. So in in our business, that's what it's about. I mean, I love sharing it. I love having people on. I love running contests so that people can come on and have dinner aboard our yacht, even if it's just sitting at the Palm Beach, marina where it sits. See people who have not been exposed to something like that to come and sit on a yacht and have a crew and a staff serve them on this floating.
It's like once in a lifetime experience, and to be able to provide that for people. Patti, thanks so much. Enjoyed what you've heard and are dead serious about finding out for yourself exactly how this works in the real world. I've taken the most valuable business lessons I've learned over 40 years and put them into something for you to watch. Go to whiteelementing.com/webinar now in order to move up as fast as possible. I'm Larry Weidel, and I run the $1 Million Mastermind. Go, go, go.